Eastern Shore Talk, where peace begins. We talk life, love, and what's within. Movies, healing, self-care flow. Real talk, safe space, let it grow. Eastern Shore Talk, where hearts unwind. Sip your peace, speak your mind. Eastern Shore Talk, feel the vibe. It's your moment, come alive.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Eastern Shore Talk, your podcast for all things self-care movies. This is your first time tuning in. Welcome. Glad to have you. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, hit subscribe, hit follow, and leave a comment below. If you're listening on one of the other podcast platforms, hit follow, subscribe, and leave a comment and or a review. It helps us big time. This is episode 94. I'm Jay Watson.
And I'm Cathy Castle.
And I'm Marty Castle.
And Marty has come back for his annual checkup on the podcast. He comes back with his elf/Christmas suit this time each year to join us for our holiday special. And we're going to dedicate this one, have a little fun, just talk about all our holiday favorites. We've picked some categories of different things, holiday/Christmas related, and we're just going to talk about our favorite things about the holidays and Christmas in particular. But yeah, we hope you guys are having a good holiday season so far. Yeah, just a real quick check-in for me, Cathy. Today was my first real vacation day.
You're like the teachers.
Friday was my last day. Of course, I would have been off on the weekend anyway. So today was my first off day.
Nice.
And
when
this will be the longest period of time that I can possibly take how the calendar falls.
Mm-hmm.
This year, next year, including weekends, I have 16 days in a row off. So
you're like the teacher.
Cool. Yeah. I don't go back till January 5th. So today was my first off day. So what's been going on in the castle leading up to the holidays?
We're still working. Still got one more day, right?
We do.
You know, we're just doing all the things, running around, being busy. Right?
Well, yeah, but I think we've watched a lot of Christmas movies.
Yeah. A lot watched.
we've-
I watched 4 yesterday.
Yeah.
4 Christmas movies.
Hallmark?
No.
Not a lot of Hallmark this year. A little bit. But we've just been picking our favorite ones and been watching them as a family. Brennan, who lives next door, our oldest, he comes over and we'll watch movies. I don't know what we're watching tonight.
Oh yeah, they're hot tubbing it now, and they're like, we can watch movies. Yeah, just do.
They're pre-gaming it. Yeah.
Yes.
You guys getting close to being ready to having all your shopping and all that stuff done?
Yeah, we're about there. I literally wrapped for probably 7 hours yesterday.
Now, do you guys host every year, or how does that work for you guys?
We got lucky because the grandparents are all here, and since the kids were little, it was just easier to come to our house, and both of our families get along really well, so we got kind of lucky with that. So we don't have to do the traveling. I hear a lot of traveling nightmares of people, but yeah.
There's kind of, if you got a long way to travel, it's a pain in the butt. But the good thing about if you travel is you might have to bring a dish or something for dinner, but you don't have to. It's not, so there's pluses and minuses. And I've kind of done both. I've been in situations where I've helped host, and I've had, I prefer that because you just it's almost like a home game. You just kind of feel, especially with me, with once the number of people starts to get up there at 15, then I'm like, well, I feel better in a familiar place than I would be somewhere else. So
right.
But I'm much less anxiety ridden with bunches of people at the holidays. I've been in Target several times this week, and there's way more people, and I had to park way at the other end, but didn't. I kind of liked it because it's like it just feels different. I don't know why. You could have 100 more people in there now versus the same number in June, but it just feels different.
Yeah, I'm starting to see the shelves starting to be a little more emptier, which
and some of it's just like they got all their Christmas stuff out, so it just feels festive. So maybe that's a lot of it. So
that's true.
But so yeah, we're gonna take some Christmas / holiday lists and just kind of talk
Yes.
about our favorites. So since we were just talking about movies just a minute ago, um, before we popped on, let's hit a big one right off the bat and talk about our favorite Christmas movie.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun game because we should have this contest of what are you going to guess I'm going to say? What am I going to
Well,
guess you're
can I
going to
do
say?
one classic
Okay.
and then one more
Oh, look, he's
newer?
changing the
I'm
rules
going
on.
to give you my top three, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
Okay.
so my classic one,
I know what
the
this
older,
is.
yeah, is It's a Wonderful Life.
Yep.
I never really watched it a whole lot when I was younger, more later in life, but I watch it every year and it still has the same meaning for me. And I just enjoy it so much. None of my kids have really gotten into it. I don't know if Kathy, if you've really watched
It's a
it that
Christmas
much.
Christmas Eve
Yeah,
after everything is shut down.
yeah. And then probably the contemporary one or the more recent would probably for me be Fred Claus with Vince Vaughn and who's his brother in that movie, Jay, this that plays Santa. Shoot.
I forget the
It's
guy.
been so long since I've seen it. I don't remember.
Yeah, I can picture him. Oh, Paul Giamatti or something.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's Santa and they're brothers, and he goes up there to help him out, and it's about their relationship and how it comes together. So I don't know if I enjoy that because it's like two brothers. You know, I had two brothers growing up, and so that has some meaning for me.
So real quick trivia. Did you know that Paul Giamatti's father was the commissioner of Major League Baseball?
Oh, was that right? I knew there was yeah,
Bart Giamatti was the commissioner of baseball, Major League Baseball, for years.
that's right. Interesting. I never made that connection.
Yep.
So I'm just going to go right in for the top one for me. And we're going to be boring. It's the same. It's Fred Claus. It's Fred Claus for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We've changed over the years. That's been a late entry for us.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, we're huge Vince Vaughn people. We think he's hilarious. But we just watched Four Christmases the other day.
I like that one. Yeah, I like that one.
Fred Claus, it is. It was not. That's probably just been in the last 4 years. Before that, we would have probably said Elf. I would have probably said Elf, which I know is not your favorite. But yeah, Fred Claus.
So it's funny, when I was little, I loved It's a Wonderful Life. And I also loved Miracle on 34th Street. They're both old black and white movies.
Yeah.
But then as I got older, so my top three would go like this: Home Alone,
Yeah.
Love Actually,
No.
and the Family Stone.
You know what? I don't think we've seen either of those two.
No, we watched The Family Stone.
We did.
That's the one Mandy recommended, a coworker of ours, and we watched it last year. I
Did
think.
I stay awake?
So, but I never seen Love Actually, and I saw that on a list of Christmas movies that are must sees,
Yep.
and I read I'm like, I never knew that. So
It's so good. It's got Liam Neeson. It's got Professor Snape, but he looks like way younger. Keira Knightley,
Wow.
a couple other like young, they're like they're younger, like they're up and coming. But it's still
wasn't Snape? I forget the actor's name, and I know he's deceased now, but he was in Die Hard also.
yes. He was the bad guy in Die Hard.
Like Hans or
Hans
something.
Gruber.
Yeah.
He did well with bad roles, eh?
That Alan Richter.
Rickman.
Yep. Yep.
He's a good actor. I liked him.
I wow, you guys got me thinking about classics. I don't know. I mean, I'm a Snoopy fan, a Peanuts fan. So there's the cartoon. What do you like of the cartoons? And then there was the original animated stuff like the Rudolphs and all those.
Well, that was going to be the next category. Is our favorite Christmas special.
Oh, I gotcha. But anyway, if you haven't watched Fred Claus in a while, I think it's hilarious. There's a lot of Vince Vaughn humor in it that he takes in all his movies.
So what about the specials that like you were just talking about?
So then it would be Peanuts, a Charlie Brown Christmas for me.
Okay. What about you, Marty?
It's a tough one because I really enjoy a lot of them, but maybe just the classic special of Frosty the Snowman.
Which we haven't watched.
No. I remember as a kid though when because back then they only came on once a season.
You had to catch it.
And you had to catch it.
And sometimes they'd be the same night. They'd be like three or four in a row on the same night, and that'd be it.
Yeah. So
I loved Rudolph because I liked the what's his name? the snowman, Burl Ives was the voice of the snowman. He sang Silver and Gold, and then Yukon Cornelius.
Yeah.
It was old claymation was how they did it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But
I
it's
used to like,
almost, don't you think that it was almost like the intro of the animation that they do now? It almost seems like there's a similarity in it.
yeah,
If you know what I mean? You know, the
yeah.
like
I like that one, and I liked Santa Claus is Coming to Town when they showed you how Santa Claus as a baby was dropped off at the elves, and
so
he became Santa Claus, and that's how like, and then the Abominable Snowman became the Wizard, the Winter Warlock they called him.
wait, was that the heat miser and all those?
Yep, I Heat Miser and Freeze Miser. Yeah, I love when they sang their song. That was so cool.
Hmm.
Here, let me throw you one. What would be one that you guys would say that's good, but people don't think about?
As a special?
No,
Or
no,
just
or
a
as a
movie?
movie. I'll back up into the last category again. I'll give you one. I'll give you my example. I just
Okay.
thought of it. One that you probably wouldn't put in the schedule is Jack Frost. Have you seen that?
Yeah, it's been a long time. I was going to say the Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
Yeah.
That's popular.
Yeah, the Santa Claus is good. Jingle All the Way, is that with Arnold and
Yeah, yep.
Sinbad? They're trying to shop for the same toy. What was the toy's name? I forget. It was an action figure.
Something man. Turbo Man.
Turbo Man.
Then of course there was the new one last year that came out with The Rock called Red One, where he played
One.
the bodyguard. He was like the Secret Service for Santa Claus.
Yeah, that's good.
Now I'll be a movie critic right now since we like to do these things. Yesterday I watched the Christmas Chronicles, right, with Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell.
And after seeing Red One, which I actually really like, and I think that'll be in one of our favorites. I mean, I saw it last year too, but the Christmas Chronicles, I was a little less. I don't know. I was like, eh.
What was the newer one too? Not this past year, but maybe 2 years ago. That is it. Ryan Reynolds is in.
Oh, Spirited.
Oh, Spirited.
We haven't seen that yet.
Did you see that one, Jay?
Never heard of it.
It's like a knockoff of the Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
They're singing.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of singing.
Well, you know what?
Of knockoffs of Christmas Carol, did you ever see that movie Ghosts of Girlfriends Past?
No.
Where Matthew McConaughey is like he's the character that's trying to be redeemed, and his girlfriends from different parts of his past come to visit him
Oh boy,
to try to straighten him out. And
that's probably funny.
Jennifer Garner is the love interest, I think, if I remember correctly. Yes, yeah, and they're at Jennifer Garner's sister's wedding, and Matthew McConaughey ruins it by hitting on one of the bridesmaids. So yeah, there was, and Michael Douglas was Matthew McConaughey's uncle who like taught him all the bad womanizing habits, and he comes back and visits him as a ghost too. It's really good. It's not really Christmas related, but it's called The Ghost of Girlfriend's Past.
Okay, check that out.
Yeah. All right, what you going with?
So let's move on to, let's see. All right, here's one. Christmas food, and I'm going to break this into different categories. So first of all, here's my question. I was thinking about this today. Is there a difference between Thanksgiving dinner and Christmas dinner as far as the items?
I think so. I should say in our household.
Okay, well, I don't. There's no right or wrong. For me, everywhere I've ever eaten one or the other,
Yep.
for the most part, they're the same. There might be. I've found differences from like the people I was with. Like they may do a different type of food for the holiday, but it's not because it's Thanksgiving or Christmas. It's just that their family does something a little bit different. But I'm just curious, like, because there seems like to be the standard main dishes are the same thing on both. But are there food items in the meal that make one different from the other one? Okay.
What I find is we do the
Yes.
traditional Thanksgiving, the turkey,
Right.
the ham, the stuffing, potatoes, all that good stuff, the gravy. But with Christmas, what I find is we do more of like a higher end meat, like a prime rib.
Hmm.
We'll get a prime rib, and I
So-
guess we'll do a potato with it.
Christmas Eve is like a heavy appetizer with ham and turkey. So you would have that at Thanksgiving, but it's not like a sit down meal. Like there's sandwiches, like there's biscuits and ham and turkey and rolls and crab dip and whatever else you want to put it. That's at least our traditions. And then on Christmas Day, it's you find whatever prime rib roast is the cheapest around town,
Yeah.
and then you get that roast the prime rib with the sides. Yeah, that's our
That makes sense because you guys are doing both days. Like there's a Christmas Eve dinner and a Christmas Day
right.
dinner, so that makes sense. And once you guys started talking, it reminded me for my dad's side of the family, like the main part, it was like there was the traditional Thanksgiving stuff, and then there was also that for Thanksgiving, but there would also be added like venison and goose and like oysters. So there was like it was the same plus some other stuff.
Hmm.
So I kind of I didn't realize that I had my own answer to that, but it just primarily it can be a lot of the same stuff. But there's no right or wrong. It's just a matter of taste or whatever. Of the main courses, what's your favorite main course?
I'm a meat and potato guy. I don't think that's a good thing. My
But
cholesterol
do
doesn't
you
think
prefer?
that way.
Are you a turkey or a ham guy?
I'm usually grabbing the ham over the turkey.
I'm
Okay.
grabbing turkey over the ham.
Yeah,
But on Christmas, I want the prime rib
yeah.
or the tenderloin. I that's what
Yeah.
I'm grabbing. The
Here's
roast
what's
beef. I'm grabbing the roast.
roast beast. Here's what's interesting for me. Like on a platter, like with Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner, I'm a turkey guy. But if I'm just making a sandwich in the middle of the year, I'm going to do ham.
Yeah.
But
I'm the same
and I
way.
think it's because of the gravy. I think because the turkey comes with the gravy. It's because I do turkey, mashed potatoes, and stuffing all together, and I just pour gravy over all of it together.
So
So,
you have a gravy sandwich there.
yep. And here's the funny thing: like stuffing, when I was little, I couldn't stand stuffing. Didn't want anything to do with it. It's really risen really high on my
Me
list.
too. I never ate it as a kid, ever. But now you put some sausage in there.
Yeah, I like the sausage.
It is good.
That's a game
Yeah.
changer.
So that brings me to my other question: what's your favorite side? Your Christmas side dish? And I've got two that are tied.
I don't know if we do this, but I love sweet potatoes.
I said I don't know if we do this.
I absolutely love sweet potatoes.
I
So
don't
Now,
do
do you
that.
do sweet potatoes or do you do candied yams? Because I love both. Like in the
I-
syrup, got the syrup and all on it.
So
Yeah.
we have a family friend that makes this sweet potato casserole. Is that the one you're talking about?
Like
It's
that.
probably so incredibly bad for you. It is got probably heavy cream in it and sweet potato and butter, and then it's covered with
Marshmallow or something on it too.
all that stuff on top.
Yeah. Okay.
It's probably really bad for you.
I
It's
could eat
really
the
good.
whole thing, the whole casserole dish.
But you know, a side that we like, you're forgetting, but we don't do it at Christmas. We do it at Thanksgiving. Is green chili rice.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
green chili rice. So it's
Huh.
rice.
Mhm.
Have you ever heard of this, Jay?
Uh-uh.
So you cook rice, and then I make it ahead of time, so you can just heat it up when you're gonna eat. But it's so simple. You really don't even need a recipe. It's rice. It's cooked white rice, and then you put a can of those little green chilies, chopped green chilies. I don't know if you've seen them.
Mhm.
In the grocery stores. So chopped green chilies, and then I put cream cheese in it and cheddar cheese, and then top it with cheddar cheese and bake it off. But it sounds weird, but it is so good. The flavors.
My two, and it's funny. The only time I'll eat these two are at Christmas or Thanksgiving. I don't eat them any other time of the year ever. When I was thinking about these categories, I thought about this. I'm like, wait a minute. I love these foods, but I don't eat them any other time except for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Mashed
You treat
potatoes.
them like you don't eat mashed potatoes outside of the holiday.
I'm eating soup all week, and I have cubed potatoes in there, but I don't do mashed potatoes. I eat a lot of French fries, but I don't eat mashed potatoes. And the
Yeah.
other one is string bean casserole.
Mm-hmm.
And here's what's funny: like growing up when I was younger, our family didn't have it. I didn't come across string bean casserole probably till I was in my 20s, maybe 30s.
Now, do you like it with canned green beans or fresh?
I don't know that I could have if I would be able to really. Well, I like fresh. I can tell the difference because they're not chopped and squared off like the chop. So fresh,
Yeah.
yes. The long, full, stringy.
Marty is not eating anything green.
They always tease me, Jay. They're like, Marty, make sure you get your greens. And
He's not doing it.
I'm just
Like
not.
you don't eat peas or lima beans or lettuce or anything like that.
He'll eat lettuce with dressing.
I am a horrible eater. I'm just going to be fully transparent. So meat, potatoes, a lot of
Yeah,
carbs.
I am definitely a meat and potatoes kind of person. I literally today at lunchtime made a big giant pot of my vegetable beef soup, Kathy. That's what I'm gonna
You like
eat the
that?
whole week. And
Yeah.
yeah,
You know what else is a good side dish, and I don't think we have it that often either. It's like a baked pineapple.
yeah. I was gonna say that. Love baked pineapple. Yeah,
My gosh, it
We should
is
tell Marlene about
so.
these. We gotta tell our friend Marlene to make.
I mean the thing with me is Marty, like there's not too many things that I won't eat, so I will get. Of course, I'm heavy on the turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing with gravy. But I'll get like a little spoonful of corn, a little spoonful of lima beans, some
See?
string bean casserole. I'll get a little tiny bit of it all because I like it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you're all done with the mains. You're all done with the meal. So what's your favorite Christmas dessert?
You go first.
There's
Yours.
so many. So my favorite is my dad makes these butter cookies that were my grandmother's recipe, and we're probably just heating up a stick of butter in the oven and are eating it. And they're not cooked fully, so they're still doughy. I mean, I could probably put myself in the hospital on those cookies, literally. But I mean, I'm not eating other things because Christmas desserts are my favorite. There's so many good things.
She made a Christmas dessert over the weekend that is probably one of my favorite of all time, and that's the homemade. What is it, like a chocolate
cream puff?
Like a cream puff.
All right, I'm learning everything I need to make that I don't make for Christmas is what I'm learning here.
So the chocolate covered cream puff. What's it
is so
filled
good.
with? What's the filling?
So it's a homemade puff, right, with butter and water and flour. I think that's all it is.
Mhm.
Butter, water. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And you cook that, and then you let that cool, and you cut the top off. And the center is instant vanilla pudding and Cool Whip, and I add vanilla extract and almond extract in it. So that is the center. And then the top is cooked unsweetened chocolate with butter and 10x sugar, and then you put that on top and let that harden. And it's,
in other words, you take a bite and your eyes cross. It's like,
it's so good. It's so good. Yeah,
it's hard not to eat just one.
I'll bring them back for. I'm gonna do those. I'm gonna do more.
It's funny how neither one of you talked about the traditional pie, like apple and pumpkin pie, are kind of like the. I'm a cherry pie. Love cherry pie. I absolutely love cherry pie.
And blueberry. I like blueberry as well.
Yes.
But we don't get a lot of pie in this house. I like pie, but these boys are not big pie eaters.
I like apple pie. We don't do pie.
My grandmother growing up used to make chocolate and peanut butter fudge just in the holidays. And my gosh.
That's like butter cookies.
Man. Ridiculous. I used to make
these butter cookies are ready. Like I want to go get them. Like now that you're saying this.
And Jay, our daughter-in-law, Hope, she's been making these cake pops.
Oh yeah.
And I tasted a couple of those, and they're a problem also. Yeah, they're not good for my waistline.
I'm a big oatmeal raisin Christmas cookie. I love raisins.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Raisin.
I like chocolate chip and I like peanut butter. I'm not really a big sugar cookie kind of guy. They tend to be too dry. I like a nice
you gotta have a nice chewy snickerdoodle.
Yeah. Snickerdoodle's okay. And I even like peanut butter, like Christmas peanut butter cookies that are soft and chewy. And to me, the best way to do that is just to get the old Nestle's in a tube and just, and just cook them slightly less than what they tell you to cook them. That way,
they're gooey. You know the secret though to cookies. My grandmother told us this years ago. Is if you have like a cookie jar or whatever container that you have cookies in, put a piece of bread in there, and it keeps the cookies softer. It does for real
because it absorbs. Yeah. There
you go. There's the tip.
In the Tupperware bowl
or whatever you got
with the lid on it.
Yeah.
We always had like Christmas cookie tins, and for whatever reason, my mom would put like a small dish towel and fold it all over, and then you'd have to unwrap like you do with rolls at the table, but you'd have to like unwrap the dish towel, get to the cookies, and then wrap them back
here
up.
was my theory as a kid. My grandmother did that, and I feel like it put fuzz on the bottom of the Christmas. That was maybe I exaggerated that, but
Well,
I
it had
feel
to
like
be a certain type of rag. It couldn't be just like
right.
this big fluffy, almost towel like rag. It had
But
to be
in
like
my mind,
yeah,
there's fibers that got
yeah.
on my clothes.
And a paper towel wasn't good enough. It had to be like a holiday themed dish towel that
People.
folded over.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody has their specialty that they make. That's for sure.
So let's go. All right, let's go to another big one. And favorite Christmas song.
I flat out literally went through my Christmas playlist that I've had for years, and I cannot pick a favorite song. I can pick a song that makes me nuts, but I cannot pick a
Can we do
favorite
it that category too? Our
song.
least
Yeah,
favorite Christmas
I
song?
don't have one of those,
He
but
doesn't have
You
one.
don't?
you guys
He doesn't have one.
can.
I do.
I do. But yours are bad. Yours are not. Anyway, mine's a legitimate bad one. His is that is not.
It's just annoying.
It's not good.
Well, what's your favorite?
I can't. So I can't. That's like saying which child is your favorite child. I cannot list a favorite. I will say this though. I think I have themes. Like I associate, for example, back in our childhood, the Oak Ridge Boys had a Christmas record, or Alabama had a Christmas record, and for some reason those were played in our household. And the Snoopy, the Vince, what's his name? Vince, that does the Peanuts soundtrack. Vince,
Girardi.
whatever his name is.
Yeah,
Whatever
I probably
his last
butchered it.
that did all the Lucy and Linus,
Yeah.
So there's those kind of old things that remind me of, tradition and people that are gone. And I love songs off of those. But then in our older or our own families, I guess, we're big Michael Bublé fans. So I like anything Michael Bublé sings Christmas. We were big Buffett fans, and Jimmy Buffett put out a couple Christmas records that were really good. And most recent, like Brett Eldridge had one that we really liked. I can't say that there's one particular song, because or movies will have songs. Like I was thinking today about Elf and how pennies from heaven, shooby dooby.
That's really good.
Or whatever. Think Fred Claus.
Home Alone was great. Had great Christmas. Had great music in it. Yeah.
It makes you laugh when you think about Christmas movies, and this, you and I would talk for every single podcast about movies and music. But I'm even thinking about Fred Claus when they're riding in the sleigh, and is it the Ronettes or Rondelles or whatever, the sleigh ride, So I can't pick a favorite. Go ahead.
I tell you, there's one that I'll
favorite?
sing. Well, it's just, and I don't know how it's a Christmas movie, or a music, song. But Baby, It's Cold Outside.
This is not your favorite.
Huh?
This is not your. It is your favorite.
Well, I like it. I'm just saying. I don't know if it's my favorite, but I'm just saying I like it.
Yes, because of Buddy the Elf.
Well, and it's two people. You got singing together, and it's just, I don't know. I know the words, some of the words.
Did you know? I've always liked that song, but here in the past 5 years or so, there's an uproar about people trying to ban that song because it's if you listen to it, it's like he's really like trying to manipulate her into staying. And there's that. Look, I'm not offended by it. I'm not bothered by it. But it never occurred to me. But once that I heard that people were, I'm like, okay, I can, because he's relentless. She says no, and he just keeps on. So I'm thinking, okay, there's again, I'm not bothered by it. It doesn't bother. I'm not offended.
And look, we listened to Tone Loc for years, and I never knew what I was singing.
That's yeah. And look, again, I've heard "Baby It's Cold Outside" a million times, and it never what those people are saying never occurred to me. But it's not it's legit because it's true. Like he says, "Why don't you stay?" She's like, "Nope, I got to get home. My father's expecting me," and she says no 3 or 4 times, and he's like, "No, one more drink. I just want half a drink. Just one more kid." Like he won't stop, and I'm like, I get it. I'm not bothered by it. I don't care. But I'm like,
overexposure.
But anyway, I just thought I just kind of thought again, I'm not bothered by it, but it's a point of view that I would have never thought of for a Christmas song, but it's there.
What's your least favorite?
Well, Jay haven't said his favorite.
What's
So
your
I
favorite?
break mine into two categories. There are
Traditional.
the traditional holiday based Christmas songs, and then the spiritual, I call the spiritual
Right.
based.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
the Christmas song, Chestnuts Roasting,
Yeah.
by far. The Nat King Cole version, I love. Michael Bublé does one I love. And
Hmm.
then there's also It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas. Bing
That's a
Crosby, Bing Crosby's version. Again, Michael Bublé does a great one. And White Christmas, Bing Crosby. They're on the traditional.
right.
My two spiritual based songs are Holy Night, which I heard when I was younger. I never, because of different reasons, I never associated it with being spiritual. It's extremely spiritual. And then Mary Did You Know, which I had never heard in my life until maybe
Yeah.
10 or 15 years ago. Never heard it. And then I heard a Kenny Rogers version
Yeah.
on
And he was a good screener.
what was the app that you used to, Pandora. I played Pandora when I had Pandora, and
Yeah.
Kenny Rogers came on, sang it. I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 years ago. I'd never heard it. Matter of fact, one of Adam Levine's contestants on The Voice sang it. Adam Levine had never heard it when he.
Wow.
So, and that's about as spiritual as it gets. That song. It's Pentatonics does a incredible version of "Mary Did You Know." It's so good. Um, yeah, so I kind of, believe me, since November 15th, I've heard them all because they've been playing in the store nonstop since November 15th.
Now, if you want to say, if you want to go with a spiritual song, which I stayed away from that group, but if you wanted to go with that, the one that moves me the most, anyway, I don't know if it's necessarily my favorite, but the one that moves me the most is Silent Night. And if I'm in a church on Christmas Eve and they play that, I will tear up every single time, ever since I was a little kid.
Now
It's
Jennifer Nettles from Sugarland does a version. She was on Sirius XM 5 or 6 years ago and sang it live on Sirius. Oh Holy Night. She does a mashup of Oh Holy Night and Hallelujah, and that's another one. That version and then listening to Pentatonics do Mary Did You Know both get me emotional because they're really what the season is really about. It's just yeah.
You know what? And we talked about this last week, but you know, it's getting a lot of buzz is that Wham song, Last Christmas. I just saw, you know, when our kids were younger, I was a big Wiggles fan. I mean, and therefore my children were, and I stalked them a little bit, and we went to concerts. But the Wiggles, the new Wiggles, not the OGs. Well, one of the OGs is in it. They just did another version of Last Christmas, and I'm like, that song is so popular this year for some reason.
What's the name of the real popular one that Mariah Carey's verse?
All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Yeah. I like that song too.
Well, we just did a trivia last week that on the global charts, Wham's Last Christmas bumped Mariah to number 2.
Mm.
Because, you know, you always see the memes of her stalling out knowing the Christmas is coming with that song,
Yeah.
right?
Christmas music is like we've got another. Well, I'll tell you what. That's just a good segue. I was going to ask if there was like a symbol or like something like a theme of Christmas that you liked. You know, like a symbol or something of Christmas music. I'll start with this one since I'm switching over.
Yeah.
Music is one of them. I love the music, but I'm a big light person. Like I love when I'm driving around seeing the town's got all their lights up and the firehouse is all lit up. And although I haven't been down that way at night to see it, but there used to be at the far end of Longwoods Road where it hooks back into 50, there was a house that the entire, like all the corners and the roof, you could literally see the entire house. The framework of the entire house was these white lights. And that was, if you were driving that way and were coming back at night, that was like you look for it because it was so obvious. It's like right off the road. You can't help but see it. But anything that anybody that's got their house lit up, have you seen the ones on TikTok where they play music and the characters are singing along and lit up to? I mean, come on.
I would say too. Dylan and I call it illumination. We know when the holiday seasons come, Dylan's like, when are we going for illumination, full illumination? But we like to light up inside.
Yeah.
I know that sounds silly, but you know, we'll have these fake candles that look like real candles with a remote and just strings of light, and we have them just placed in all kinds of places. So when we're, at night or watching TV. It's not just the tree that's lit. And you and I have talked about this. We're white lights, you're white lights. Inside, outside, we have some color lights. I think we have one tree that looks like Stranger Things. I'm pretty sure if I put the alphabet under it, it would look like the Stranger Things background, the wheel of light. But we like illuminate. We do like illumination. That means Christmas is coming. Illumination.
I saw one of the newest Hallmark Christmas movies. The house that they were in had this big kind of open stairway with a long handrail up, and the railing was all upstairs. And they had garland and lights both the whole way up. And I'm like, man, that's freaking festive. I love that.
I cut that a little.
That's why I like some of those Hallmark movies, just how they decorate their houses, whether interior or exterior. It's like, wow, that's amazing.
You're talking about lights, Jay. You should or anybody should take a drive in the neighborhood across from us, which is, why am I not remembering the name?
Well, there's Golden, and then there's Mulberry.
Mulberry.
But it's the center development of Mulberry.
There is a street. Every single house on either side has decorations. And I think they bring a bucket truck in and do trees too. You got to do it. The whole street is lit up. I think there's one house around the corner that isn't. And I'm like, we ought to chunk some lights in their yard. I mean,
the firehouse is really cool too. Like the entire thing is all done.
I was going to mention.
I used to go over to Sandy Point because Sandy Point State Park used to have you would drive through and it was a big deal.
Do you ever go in the firehouse to see their train?
Used to when I was younger.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun too. We used to do that every year with the kids, but we haven't the last few years.
Speaking of trains at Christmas, Fisherman's Inn runs that.
Yeah,
I love that. It goes around the whole restaurant. I used to go there when I was married because she was from that up that area. We would always go up a couple of days before Christmas, meet her parents or whatever, and go into Fisherman's just to see the train. We would eat, but we would just, and it's like, it's something about, I could just watch the train. No matter how many times I could be in there for an hour and for 45 minutes straight be just watching the train. That's Christmassy. I used to have a train under our tree when I was little. Just a round train. It made it hard to get all your gifts underneath there because the train tracks were in the way. But I'd do a village, and that was,
Hey, we got to backtrack. We didn't do the songs that drive us nuts. I know you don't have one.
Yep. Yeah.
This is interesting. Do you want to go first?
Yeah. Well, I shared this the other day with Cathy.
I disagree with them though.
But it's Santa Baby. Like Santa Baby. I just don't like it. It's annoying to me for some reason.
I don't like the theme of Santa Baby. It's just like, buy me stuff.
Yeah.
Give me a diamond mine.
You don't like this greedy girl.
I think
that's right. But the song doesn't bother me. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's kind of annoying with what do you call shoot? That's
Eartha Kitt did the original, and then Madonna did her version later on.
Yeah.
Like a Betty Boop kind of voice.
Yeah.
I know yours.
But I yeah. It's the hippopotamus one. I cannot do the hippopotamus song.
I want Hippopotamus to Christmas.
There's something about that song that makes me nuts.
When it comes on, Jay, I'm like, Cathy, here's your song, and I turn it up.
But another one that got on my nerves this week is Katy Perry singing what? What is she singing where it's like she is so drawn out and slow and depressing?
White Christmas.
Is that it?
It's a real slow version of White Christmas.
It's an awful version of that song. It's just bad.
Now look, those songs that you guys just mentioned would not be near the top of my list of favorites, but I wouldn't turn it off if that, like all those silly ones. Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer.
Yeah.
There's a few of those like that. They don't bother me. The Chipmunks doesn't bother me.
I like those too. I do like the Chipmunks. Anyway, there you go.
So, Cathy, you had said something. You texted me earlier about like favorite Christmas moment or something. So explain that and talk about that, and then I'll kind of chime in if I understand what the category is that you're talking about.
So, like, to me, the Christmas season, we celebrate Christmas in our house. The Christmas season is soon as that last piece of turkey is in the fridge. We're anxious. We're like, let's are we gonna decorate? And we could have no kids in this house and Marty and I will still be like children, I am pretty sure. So, until that weekend after Christmas where everybody's depressed and here comes winter and we gotta put everything away. That's our season. But I think the most at peace, so when I say moment, I mean within that time frame, what is the best moment for me? And I would say it is Christmas morning before anybody's up, because I'm always up before everybody else. And I come downstairs and I just look around and I'm like, this every year to me is such a perfect day because there's no expectations of everybody. Everybody's usually in a happy mood. People aren't stressed. We're running around in our junk clothes, our junk. I don't know why I said junk clothes.
Christmas.
Just being bums, and it's just such a peaceful day. I mean, I look around and I think I'm very fortunate because I've been, our parents are still with us, our children are still around, and I'm always, I feel like I'm one shoe drop away from that not being that perfect. You know what I mean? But I love that morning.
Cathy bought these, we call them Santa sacks from Pottery Barn when the kids were little. So when they look like as soon as they come down,
so we put them out for Santa.
They sit behind their Santa sacks.
Everybody's names on them.
Have the gifts in them, and they pull out a gift, and then they each open it.
So Christmas Eve, they go down flat after everybody leaves. We put them flat on our living room floor. And in the morning,
they're full.
Santa comes and they're full. The Santa sacks. Yeah.
So that has a lot of meaning.
Even though Brennan moved, just next door, he's like, I hope I'll be there bright and early for my Santa sack.
We used to do
climbing on.
Each person had their own wrapping paper. Like you knew which that was kind of the thing we did. Kind of similar, Cathy, in a way. I used to always like Christmas Eve. You're done dinner, all the dishes are washed. At the end, you put all the gifts under the tree.
Yeah.
You're ready, and you're like, and I used to take a million pictures of like the before picture, like that.
Right.
The anticipation of the next morning. It could be 9:00 at night, and you're finally all ready. Maybe you're like having some Christmas cookies or some cocoa, but all the stuff is done.
All the stuff.
Everything is set up for the morning, and that moment, the anticipation of you're not, because I'm one, and I tell you what, this is going to sound weird, and I don't know that I've ever heard anybody else talk about this. I used to love doing stocking stuffers for other people. Like if I was dating someone or whatever, like I'm a good gift giver because I pay attention to people, like especially when I'm in a relationship. Like they could be talking about something in June and I'm registering that for.
You should get with Jay and then you'll know what to give me.
How do you know I'm not like that?
But the other thing is, like, you can get really creative with stocking stuffers. Like the smallest, and I used to be like, I gotta buy some big ass stockings because I love giving like those little things of shampoo or just that kind of like everyday useful. I don't know what it was, but I used to freaking love. Like I would do a day and I would just go do stocking stuffers at Target or wherever. I used to love that. It sounds weird, but something about
instead of the Mary Poppins bag full of goodies, it's the size.
But I would also do I would put one of the bigger money wise gifts in there, like a little tiny little jewelry box with a really nice bracelet or a gift card for $250 to get your to a spa. Like I would hide that in there because nobody would ever expect to see a big money item like that. So I used to get really creative with stuff like that, and I would do stuff that they would not have thought of. But I know that maybe we traveled somewhere and they liked a certain thing that we ate or whatever, and I just love that.
You're an elf.
I think why it has a lot of meaning to people because it's so thoughtful.
Yeah, and it's like normal, typical, everyday. This is who this person is. They're going to use these things every day.
Yeah. So Cathy gave a good friend of hers over the weekend. We had dinner with them. Twig, yeah, and it was a container, and it had different tea bags, and you wrote a little something about each tea bag, so she would learn about it as she's coming on board the tea
train.
She's riding the tea train.
She's on the T train. So, and I said to Kathy, I said, that is so thoughtful. And I think gifts like that, just because
Yeah,
has so much meaning
really
to people.
appreciated it. I mean, she said it made her tearful.
Yeah.
But I took all my favorites, and some people roll their own cigarettes. I roll my own tea bags. So I put my tea in the bags and put them in a sealed bag and wrote what kind it was and where it came from.
So yeah, are you guys? Because Jay, you're very thoughtful in your gift giving. Kathy is. I don't know. Yeah, we laughed earlier, but I don't know how much I am thoughtful like that.
Maybe it's
That has that-
creativity.
Maybe, but like,
Maybe it's our creative.
but I
part.
respect that.
Mine, Marty. I mean, it's easy. You kind of like with me. I mean, I will say it as bad in a lot of ways as my childhood was. For the most part, Christmases were pretty decent. Like I don't have any bad experiences. The only one year I was probably, if I'd have been younger, it would have been a bigger deal. But my parents, my mom and my stepdad, went to Mexico for Christmas, and they basically just left me and my brother here and just said, you know,
See,
they got us gifts and all, but it was just us two.
God.
So, and I basically had to babysit him because he wasn't old enough to be on his own yet. So, but other than that, I mean, everything else was, was fine at Christmas time. One of my things that I used to like to do is, if I was in a relationship with someone, was the first thing I would hand out would be my card. I would put so much effort into finding the perfect card and writing a personalized, like a encyclopedia front and back, in that. And I like the cards that opened up like 4 or 5 open instead of just two because I had more room to write. That was always out. That would be the first thing I give them that morning. Is here, this is why I'm giving you. I didn't give my gifts. I didn't. I'm just telling them. I felt and all that good stuff. But
Which is what you should do while people are here instead
yeah,
of
yeah. It's kind of I think that I got as much joy out of you know writing the cards as I did any of the other things. I'm just expressive that way. But speaking of gifts, can you remember back, whether it was 5 years ago or when you were 10, like a gift or certain things you're like, you just remember like a great gift that you got at some point?
Yeah, it was from childhood, and we always got the Sears Christmas catalog.
I love
right?
it. Yep.
That came every year. We would pick stuff out, and we grew up. We didn't have a ton of stuff, but my parents, they did the best they could, and we didn't want for really anything. We didn't go without. I don't want to.
Mhm.
We but me and my two brothers, we wanted these, and it was out of the Sears catalog, these football jackets with the team name on it, and
Yep.
they had like
The leather sleeves and the cloth.
Yeah.
Yep.
the
I
varsity.
wanted that too, but for Washington. Yep, I'm with you.
So I got the Green Bay Packers. My brother Roger got the Baltimore Colts, and my brother Robbie got the Washington Redskins. And there's a picture of the three of us, and I think we had matching hats, like beanies,
Newbies. Yep.
with the jackets. And there's a picture of us in my grandparents' house that day, standing there in our jackets and hats on. And that shares a very special memory for me, especially since my brothers are no longer with me. But yeah, I remember that very well, like it was yesterday, and how proud we were to be wearing those jackets.
I used to love me some Sears Christmas catalog. You flip to the very back, and I would write my name with an arrow pointing to exactly what I wanted every year. And it was like a Nerf football or the jacket, or I mean, good gosh, Hot Wheels racing track or whatever it could have been. I mean, just yeah. What about you, Kath? A gift that stands out to you?
I have so many. There's so many. I was always so appreciative. There's several that stand out. One was one year my grandmother gave us these talking Viewmasters, and they were in a big tube. Do you remember those? They were blue. They weren't like the traditional red ones, and they were long. And you click, you still had to manually make the thing go around, but it narrated it for you. And I was like, wait a second. That was like, it was probably the beginning of virtual reality, right? And I was so excited. I went in the bathroom and played with it because I didn't want all the adults running their mouths to interfere with my stereo experience. So it was a Viewmaster. Another year I got Sonny and Cher's Theater in the Round. So I got Sonny and Cher, because remember they had a show, variety show.
Yeah.
In the theater, you turned it, and then there was different scenes, and they had all these clothes. Sonny and Cher was on point. And then when I was younger than that, I got a kitchen set it would put Bobby Flay to shame. So there's some things I
Was it
remember.
the Easy Bake Oven?
I had an Easy Bake. I mean, we probably pretty rotten. I had to think everything there is. When I look on Facebook and see all these old toys, I'm like, we had all these. I'm like, was there just nothing to choose from? And our parents just bought us all the same thing? But I am still bitter, though. My grandparents one time bought these stuffed pig, and I still have mine, honestly. And my cousin got the dark purple one, and I got the piggy color one, and I was really mad. I'm like, they knew I like purple. Why'd they give that to her?
I remember we lived down on Tredavan Avenue down there at the very end, right before you get to Charlestown Village. But Charlestown Village wasn't there at that point.
Right.
Like my house was the end. Like there was no more, nothing past
Yeah.
that. But in the same Christmas, I got a skateboard and a boombox.
I remember the boombox Christmas.
And I got a Casey and the Sunshine Band cassette player with my boombox. That's the only one I bought more later, but that's the one I got with the boombox. And man, I remember that day. It was cold. It was too cold to be riding a skateboard. I didn't care. I was out there, boombox on my shoulder,
right?
Blaring that thing as loud as I could. I was skateboarding with Casey and the Sunshine Band, and I wore the batteries out the first day, literally, because that would have been in the 70s. So batteries didn't last very long anyway. So I just.
Jay getting a boombox, and you know what the cassette was in mine was? Remember that song, "Cool It Now"? Cool It Now. Bobby, Ronnie.
New Edition.
Yep. New Edition. Yes. Did you get a boombox?
I did. It was silver, like you said.
Do you remember what cassette
was They were all silver. All the OG boomboxes were all silver.
I mean, you thought you were something.
Yeah. With a big old handle, like a lunchbox, like big old handle on it. Yep.
Yes.
What
like
brand
you're carrying
was
a
it?
cooler.
Were they all the same brand, like a JVC or something?
No, they were like
I don't remember the brand because I didn't care about that. If it played music, that's all I cared about.
They all came out.
Casey Kasem on it too. Once I got that, I was like, oh.
Wait, and then you could hit the two buttons to record.
Because I could get rid of my old white AM radio that I was listening to Casey Kasem on, and put my boombox on my dresser and use it. Try to move my antenna just right to get it, so it didn't staticky and all that kind of stuff.
And I would be like, can we get through the long distance dedications? Because I'm ready to be able to tape song number 1. Get on with the dedication. I don't care about who's missing who. I want to hear The Tide is High. I've got to tape it right this time.
I used to write them down, Cathy. I would sit there and write. That way, even if Casey didn't say up 5 spots to number 22, right? I knew before him. I'm like,
these kids today have no clue, right? We had to wait it out. Like you had to wait for what your number 1 songs were. You didn't look them up. There's no internet. You had to listen to Casey.
Yep.
And you were like, here it comes.
Or sometimes on American Bandstand or one of those, they might say, or whatever, they might tell you on Solid Gold, they might tell you that like the
Solid Gold. Yeah.
So let's see, what's
I'm not excited about that. Decoration.
You want to do a decoration? Well, lights are kind of my favorite decoration. I already talked about that, but what's your favorite decoration?
Your decoration?
Well, I love I'm looking at them now. I love the stockings.
he couldn't form that word.
Hanging from the
That's your favorite
fireplace.
Decoration?
I love them hanging there.
Now, did you hang with care?
Hung them with care, as I can't even speak and think of words, right? But there's an ornament on the Christmas tree that I really like too. And it's not very big. It's a little one, but it's like an angel in a red, robe, like a red robe.
That little angel. You like that little angel?
Yeah. I don't know why, but it always.
Now, how long have you had that angel?
How long? A long time.
And Cathy didn't know it was your favorite?
No, I got to check. She probably cost 5 cents at the Dollar Tree or something. I don't remember that. I mean, I think I remember her. She's very low key. She's not like, hey, look at me.
But that's me. That's my personality. I'm not about
No, my favorite ornament on the tree, which is not my favorite Christmas decoration, is this big Santa, this big head, and I put him on first, and he is, hey, look at me. He's got this full beard, and I put him right behind a light.
So basically, you each are represented on the tree.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
That's not my favorite. My favorite decoration is that snowman. My mother painted when I was young a snowman. He's like a frosty, and you remember I don't know if you remember this, David. Our parents used to go to ceramics. They called them ceramics. You went to ceramics. That's what it was called. Going to ceramics, and they'd be in somebody's garage, and some lady would be there with stuff. You'd almost have this home party, and people were painting. I remember being drug along. And I didn't paint it; she did. But it's a music box too. You turn him, and he plays Frosty the Snowman. But he's my favorite.
I can tell you two decorations that I can't stand that we did when I was little, and I basically talked my mom into not doing it anymore. One was tinsel because it was so messy.
Tinsel's coming back.
And the other one was friggin' popcorn on a string. She just thought that, and I guess the idea of like making the string of popcorn, that part is kind of cool. It's like baking cookies, but like to actually string them up and then, you basically got to throw them away. You got to do a new string to follow that. Yeah. I do like garland. Like garland, if you've got like a fireplace you can do garland on, or like centerpieces. I love poinsettias. The red, I love me a poinsettia because they're so bright red, and I love the colors of Christmas. It's just, yeah.
But I saw, I did see in Target this year, tinsel was back. I was like, oh man, it gave me the shakes looking at it because that stuff was a stinking mess. You just threw it. You just threw it on the tree.
And if you had a real tree, half of it got left on the tree when it got thrown away. I'm a big, like for a tree, I'm a big red balls and gold balls and white lights and like red bows, like very, I don't like a bunch of different colors. I was never one that did like the little Hallmark. Each year there would be a new Hallmark ornament that will come out, or like Cathy, I'm sure you probably got Peanuts Christmas ornaments on the tree.
Yeah. Ours is a memory tree. It's a mixture of all kinds of things.
Like my perfect, like to me, like what you would see in like a hotel lobby, like the very traditional colors, not flashy, but like very like clean, and red shiny balls, gold, like matte gold balls, and red bows. Because the green is the other main Christmas color, but the tree's green. So that's kind of I visualized tree, like my perfect tree is that.
So do you have that tree at home?
I don't. I only decorate because it's just me, and it doesn't really make much sense. That's why I make such a big deal out of decorating the store, because I spend all day, every day there, Monday through Friday. And it's funny, were decorating it one way before I got there, and I kind of changed it up because they just had like random things hanging from Santa. I'm like, So I got red, green, and gold 4-inch shiny balls, and I perfectly measured out fishing line. So they all hang exactly the same distance, but you can't see the fishing line. It just looks like the balls are hanging in the air because there's not like this big thick thing they're hanging from. It's just like the thinnest fishing line you don't see that. You just see the balls in the air.
I'm gonna have to come in there and see it.
It's kind of. I sent you a picture because I said this is a challenge to channel marker.
I missed that.
Yeah, but it's hard to see because it doesn't. I tried to zoom, but it's pretty cool looking.
Well, a lot of people have opinions too about real tree versus artificial tree.
Now I've changed. I've gone back and forth. I loved the process of going and picking a new tree. That part I loved, but the whole you got to keep them watered, and you got to cut an inch off the bottom when you get it, and you can't put them by a heat register. But if, like, for example, there's a company called Balsam Fir that does artificial trees, I'm telling you, you could not tell the difference.
They're expensive.
They are, but they'll let you have them forever. Like, and they don't wear out. The LED lights never. You got that tree in pristine, And some people like the point of your tree looks a little bit different each year because you get a different real tree, and I love the smell of a real tree, but I'll just get a candle that smells like that. But I'll spend the money to get a really good blue spruce looking, because man, they're perfectly shaped. Because that's when you go to a Christmas tree farm, you're looking for that perfectly shaped. You don't want it lopsided. Like, you can't be like straight up. It's got to be triangle.
Yeah.
There's an art to picking out a real Christmas tree.
We used to fight over it. I mean, it was not a good marital experience to get real trees.
See, I'm a blue spruce guy because they had the shorter, tighter needles that were less likely to fall off. And they tend to be bushier and fuller too.
I'd be underneath the tree for like an hour, making sure it's level. I'd be like, Cathy,
I'm like, it's
is this
fine.
it? She's like, it's fine. Then I get up out of the tree.
It's leaning.
It's leaning.
I'm like,
Cathy,
it.
you said
Do
it
it
was
yourself.
good. She said it's fine. No, I got to get back under the
it's
tree.
just not worth it.
You know what I used to do when I was little? Like once we put our tree up, like I would lay under the tree. Like there's something about laying it, like to watch TV. I watch Walt Disney. Like once the tree
I
was
think
up.
you're an elf.
Yeah.
I think you're a secret elf.
I was a big tree fan. Yeah, something about a tree. And I would have it so, like, I'd watch TV, like when I got to be an adult, and I would have a tree. I would turn all the lights out and just have the tree lights on.
Yeah,
and watch TV just with the tree lights on.
Yeah, it is. That's what we do. Yeah, and you kind of miss it when it's over.
Mm-hmm.
The lit tree at night.
I think that's about it.
I think we hit them all.
So real quick, do you have a trivia question?
Yes, I do.
You even wrote that down.
This is a high end.
This is a real thing, Marty. We don't just play on Tuesday nights.
We've kind of changed rules.
Look, it's been a year, brother.
Cathy was.
we have gotten.
He's forgotten how we've done this already.
We're on point. I got a book. Don't look at the answer.
I'm not.
Okay.
I can't see it anyway, I don't think. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
I can't tell you guys are married at all.
All right. Between the time frame, this is movie, between the time frame of November 1st and December 10th, what was, according to, this was a Forbes article.
Wait, say it again.
I'm giving you the background. I haven't even asked yet.
Okay.
So, the question is, I was giving you the background by Forbes between November 1st and December 10th. The most watched holiday movie. Don't blurt it. Hold it. Jay, say when you go. He blurted it. You go. What do you think?
Christmas Vacation.
Marty wins.
Ooh.
With 7.3 million views. So let me give you the rest of the story then. So it was Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase, followed by Elf, and then by Home Alone. But the funny thing is, this year, actually, Christmas Vacation and Elf dropped by like 20 to 23%. Those two in views, but they were still top. But you know what increased was Home Alone, which was third, increased by 27%. The Grinch increased by 57%, and the Santa Claus increased by 12%. So my theory on the Grinch is, I wonder if the McDonald's Grinch meal had anything to do with it. I'm just curious about that. So anyway, there's your trivia.
So my trivia is very similar, but it's slightly different. So mine is, what is the biggest grossing Christmas movie in the theaters of all time?
In theaters of all times. Okay, I got it. Well, at the time, or like to date?
At now, as of right now, what is the highest grossing of all time?
Jay, this is a stumper.
Should I say one? Should I?
Are you giving the answer to his?
Yeah.
Well, let me get mine first.
Okay.
All right. Okay, go.
Home Alone.
And I'm going to say White Christmas.
No. It is actually The Grinch. Jim Carrey's The Grinch. Home Alone was number one for the longest time until 2018, which is when The Grinch came out. The Grinch passed it. So it's The Grinch, and then Home Alone is number two.
You know, I didn't realize until recently, and just this is my own little survey, how many people love Home Alone. I had no idea about it. I did see something on the Today Show today, which got me on this track. They were saying that it was a little bit of a different statistic of all the Christmas movies, the popular Christmas movies. What is the one that most, I'm not going to say this right, but I think it was something like that most people have watched, right? Out of all of them. And it was Home Alone. And that, the way that question was phrased. And plus, I feel like lately when I'm asking people, what are you watching or what's your favorite, because probably because we do this podcast, a lot of people say Home Alone. And I wouldn't have picked that. I mean, I love Home Alone, but
It's funny. I watched it. It was on last week on one of the cable channels, and I had totally forgotten at the very beginning that Joe Pesci's character, he's pretending to be either a cop or a security guard. He
yeah,
does that to case the house.
Yeah.
yeah,
I forgot all about that part. And,
yes,
he's got almost like a shaved head, like
Yep.
really short. I'd forgotten that the entire part because you think of the parts when he sets them up and does all the traps when they're trying to break in, and he's dancing to the Christmas songs, and
yeah,
he's happy at first that he's alone. You remember all that part, but I had forgotten all about he pretended to be a policeman, and he's in their
yeah.
house talking to him and stuff. I forgot
And
all
they're
about
just
that
like,
part.
yeah, hi, whatever.
I absolutely love that house too in Home
Yeah.
Alone. I love that house. And it was recently sold because whoever has it now really modernized it. But whoever bought it recently is going to return it to
really?
its original, kind of like what they did in the Brady Bunch. Somebody bought that house a couple years ago and they returned it to its original form. But that's what they're going to do with the Home Alone house. Do I say?
Do
give
you
a
have
question?
one? You just last minute did it? Yes, you did.
I'm usually the one that always organized and planned, but we switch roles.
Listen, if you're a guest on this show, you got to come plan.
All right. So the
Merry Christmas, everyone.
What is the name of the fictional town in It's a Wonderful Life?
Bedford Falls.
What'd you say? That's it.
Bedford Falls.
Bedford Falls.
Bedford Falls.
Yeah.
So where did that name come from? What town, town gave the name? There's a town in New York that the director
I have no
went
idea.
to see, and he was inspired from being in this town. Frank Capra's the director of It's a Wonderful Life. So he went to this town and was like, I need to replicate it because the set was built in California and they filmed it in the summertime. So
Did you know that before you just looked it up?
yeah. So any idea on that?
No, that would have been extra credit for this question.
Yeah.
That's actually
So
credit.
Seneca Falls. Seneca Falls.
Yeah. I've at least heard of that place, yes.
Yeah.
I haven't.
And it says the name Bedford Falls itself is derived from both Seneca Falls and Bedford Hills, which is a hamlet in Westchester County, New York. Yep.
There you go.
Suburb of New York City. Yeah. All right, so real quick before we get out of here, Kath, what have you guys watched lately?
We haven't watched anything new, right? Besides Christmas movies.
Christmas movies.
I don't think we pulled anything because Jay, we're waiting for Stranger Things here. The drama. Here's your prime rib. Get out of our house. That's what that night's going to be like. Go.
And I think it said that they come on at 5.
No.
It must be 5. It must be 5 Pacific. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's 8.
We can fly out there, Jay, and catch it at 5.
Yeah, right.
Then come back and watch it again at 8.
Funny, it's the same time. All right. No, we haven't. How about you?
So I was telling you real quick about this before he popped on. There's a documentary on just brand new, came out on Netflix called Breakdown 1975.
Yeah.
And it really concentrates on how the movie industry, how number one, there was a bunch of really like classic, great movies that were made that year, Jaws being one of them. But it was also how like the whole process, like it was a shift in what type of movies were being made. Because it was, before that, it was the John Wayne Western hero kind of, and it switched. And, the movies that were coming out in 1975, so many big time classic, like highly regarded movies came out that year. It's really, and it also talks a little bit about pop culture and politics. It talks about how there was a shift in TV as well. Like All in the Family was like the top show for the longest time, and All in the Family was very controversial back in the day. Well, then that faded out, and then Happy Days took over. So you went from the All in the family to the Richie Cunningham Happy Days family, two completely different. But it was driven by what was going on in politics at the time, and how politics kind of guided TV and movies back then much more so than it does now. And I found that because I'd never thought about that. It's really fascinating. I'm going to see once we get Chris on. It's on Netflix. It's called Breakdown 1975. It's like an hour and a half long. It's very interesting. Very you'll just Martin Scorsese and Oliver Stone are like they give their opinions. There's some popular actors that talk about stuff. It's really neat, very interesting how you know you look back because they have movie clips and TV clips, and it's just kind of cool. We would have been 8 years old at the time to see what was going on at eight and how making movies changed. And it's changed other times since then, but that was kind of really like a drastic changing of what type of movies was being made was that year. So if you're a movie lover, it's a good one to go see. Anyway, guys, we hope from everyone here at Eastern Shore Talk, our special guest, we'll call him Annual Marty. We all wish you a very safe and happy holiday season. Thanks for joining us. And we're going to come back next week and we're going to talk about New Year's kind of stuff. Like we're going to go back and talk a little bit about, do a recap of Eastern Short Talk 2025 in review. Cathy and I are going to give our word of the year, what our word worth for 2025 was, and what our word going into 2026 is going to be. And then we've got some really cool and interesting stuff coming up in January. And actually, we've been booking in February now, too. So thank you guys for joining us. Take care. Have a safe and happy holiday. And we'll catch you next time on Eastern Short Talk. Take care, guys.